Hey guys, it is me, Ben Barnes, back here with another episode, another time to talk about how we do in fact have potential for prosperity. Today we are going to be reading the next email on our list, which is actually called Burned, on January 29th, 2023. The drink for today is in fact the water bottle, if you don't remember. Same day guys, you know me. Alright, so this is awkward and all. I was in the hospital twice this week. My family knows about one. Long story short, I didn't have any infections after they took my blood, and I peed in a cup. They pumped me full of 6 big bags of medicine through my arm. Cold and weird feeling. Yeah, that was fun. It helped for sure, but the problem was massive amounts of nausea and massive pressure headaches. They didn't give me any diagnosis, just mentioned that it could be something from the water and something with my inflamed intestines. My mission mom was in contact with me the whole time and actually said the same thing, so it makes sense, I guess. But I was sick for 2 days, and during the first day, I thought, am I gonna need to go to the hospital? Nah. Then the second day it was really bad, and I sat down on my bed. I was talking to Elder M in English, and I said, I think I need to go to the hospital. I'm not sure why I was feeling this way because it wasn't that bad, but man, something was telling me to go. I sat there and said, if this feeling doesn't go away in 30 minutes, I am calling Sister Cavalcanch, and I am going. Then in 5 minutes, the feeling just got stronger, and it seemed to be the Holy Ghost. I messaged Sister Cavalcanch, and boom, we had it set for tomorrow to go to the hospital because after I called, I felt reassured by the Spirit that I made the right decision. I felt good enough to sleep that night. Oh, and that next morning we had interviews with President, so I was excited for my first interview with Poderoso Presidente Cavalcanch. My interview, it was perfect, but what happened after was a little out of nowhere. I went after my companion, I walked in and he said, How's it going with the commandments and your companion? I instantly bluntly told him completely how I felt about my companion, which wasn't negative things, but it wasn't positive either. I said, and I quote, he is already home from his mission mentally. Then I received a preordained mission president tell me a lecture I will never forget. When the AP showed up, he wouldn't stop talking about how amazing this ward is in this area. I was confused, but to say the least, he practically made this ward, baptizing half the members and never missing 1 week without a baptism. I remember sitting there and thinking, well, that's just because you're you. Then during my interview, President simply said, if you ask Elder B, he will tell you this land in this area is sacred. This ward is a blessing and an amazing place. You need to think the same thing. You need to know this land is sacred. You need to make this area into what you want to make it. God knows you are here trying and working hard, but if you think you are going to get baptisms lugging around negativity and bad thoughts about this place, you will never get baptisms. Pretty much along the lines of, I know you are thinking negatively and this area is just not working with you very well. He told me, it isn't the area, there is something else wrong, and it isn't your stomach or your head. I can see it in your eyes. The eyes say it all. Seeing right through me, he knew I had some problems with my companion that built up a pretty strong negative wall of mentality. He said many things you could compare to the apostles' talks in General Conference. I think mine was for sure the longest. Then at the end, he grabs my hand and says, I need to see happy, excited, powerful Elder Barnes. No more sadness. I need to see you own your area and know it is sacred. I see Elder B in your eyes. Elder B is a legend of the mission, said to be the guy with the most baptisms in the mission's history. I felt honored to be told this by President Cavalcanch, and one day hope I can fulfill this expectation. That day, we go to lunch at this restaurant. I grab a little bit of what I think I can eat and sip. I couldn't eat it. Like, I had no cravings and no willpower to eat, but was starving. That's it. Time for the hospital. We went to the hospital. Blah, blah, blah. Take this medicine and it will help. Sure. It was super comforting though. Then after I was home for like 40 minutes preparing for my 2 days of rest, wearing PJs and laying in my dark bedroom, then a call on the phone. The APs? Weird. They said, we need both of you in the camera. Boa tarde, Elder Barnes and Elder F. You guys were transferred to this place with this person. Transfers will happen tomorrow morning. Good luck. Bye. It's like 7 p.m. I pack rapidly, and boom, the next morning with all my drugs, I arrive at my new house with my new comp. Welcome to Queimados. From Agua Branca to Queimados, or in English, from Whitewaters to Burned. Unique for sure, I like it. There was a lot that happened. Some good days of nothing and sitting in the chapel resting because the doctor said so. Then returning to the hospital that was really trashy and I thought I was just gonna die there, so that is fun. Then onward to getting a lot better. Oh yeah, I have a new diet. I practically only eat fruits, salads, and coconut water because it's better for you than Gatorade. I'm officially some white mom from California. Pretty cool. I have a new love and appreciation for salad and bananas. These bananas here are seriously incredible. Also, I only started feeling better after the nightly salad I eat, so who knows. I've been peeing like mad amounts of times during the day because I drink so much water. I am a new man. I got really lucky because the doctor told me nothing, but all the members had all these teas and magical foods to give me that seriously cured me. I am sitting here feeling incredibly good. Though I am not perfect yet, I am almost completely better. A crazy salad milkshake. You can't eat red meat, milk, or sugar. Mashed banana with this thing called farinha. I have no idea what it is, but it was a great dessert substitute. Really delicious tea made out of a plant in this guy's front yard that does not bring fruits. Seriously looked like a garden weed. Homemade bread. These members are seriously amazing. One member made me a special healthy version of the big meal she made just because I was sick. It was so sweet. She seriously switched every single thing but with healthy substitutes. It was so kind. Everyone in this ward makes homemade juices that are super good for my stomach as well. I can't tell you enough about this guy who was baptized in December. He is seriously my favorite person. His name is Michael, and he is a big black guy who just is the funniest, most amazing guy. He loves rock music and speaks English fairly well. He is super fun and loves teasing and joking around. His laugh is so contagious, it's incredible. He tries to help us missionaries as much as possible because he knows the whole town. He is super helpful, and I will for sure snap a photo with him if I don't already have one. He is seriously my best friend. His dad is the guy who made me the tea and is not even a member. So I went on splits while I was sick with the zone leaders, one being my old man, Elder F. It went really well. We were also with Elder B from my own hometown. He went to my high school and is super well known. He is a killer missionary. We had a great day, and it was the first day feeling almost all the way better. Dang, it was actually Saturday. Feels like forever ago. After doing a bunch of work, it stormed. Probably the hardest it ever has on my mission. Seriously hard. I felt like I was going to die or something for a minute. We got to this small sidewalk with a covering and like a railing. It was the entrance area of like a salon that was closed. Across the street, one way, at this 4-way stop, was a family playing music and making barbecue. The other side was a full bar watching the big soccer game. There are two things that stop all work here in Brazil: soccer and rain. Everyone just agrees it's time to go to sleep and drink. Cool, right? But I sat there against this railing, 8 feet from the other guys, just looking out at the mountains and the beautiful green land, the insane-looking construction, the amazing storm, the amazing air, and the flooding streets. This was for about 40 minutes, I'd say. We were waiting out the storm because it was so bad. I sat there and remembered something my dad told me before my mission. Go out there and enjoy your mission. You will have moments and experiences between you and God that no one else can experience with you, and you will never experience again. This was one of those moments. Mental photo taken. Never will forget this moment. Later that night, we visited a recent convert. I already mentioned that this one member some time ago reminded me of my second mom, Mama S. Well, this recent convert reminded me of a Brazilian, GS. He was so funny and made all the same jokes. Had the same personality, literally a clone of my best friend's dad. My other dad, a massive example to me. This guy was also very spiritual and very passionate about serving the Lord. It was super comforting, and for that time, I felt as though I was back home with my best friend and his amazing family. It was so amazing. This guy runs a luncheon niche. It's hard to explain. It's pretty much a shop for salgados. If you want to know what a salgado is, Google it. But yeah, he gave us free food and free caldo de cana. I also don't remember what this exactly is, so Google that too. Also, be grateful for Google. Trying all these new fruits and weird salads and smoothies and dying of stomach sickness without Google has been much harder than it needed to be. So be grateful. That night, I was also able to drink my first Coke after getting sick. So that was great. Yeah, the white waters, they were hard. Just like I expected, I left them with scars. It was that long, this land wasn't large. Okay. Yeah, the white waters, they were hard. Just like I expected, I left them with scars. It was that long, this land wasn't large. But dang, there were men with guns that stood as guards. For those favelas and houses with no yards. With nothing to keep alone, only to part. Like a river, like a rio, this place, it has heart. It knows where it is going and where it starts. I see why they are called rapids. I grabbed my shoes and my bags, packed them. Threw all my food in a pantry and latched it. Left with the memories of demons and holes that we were patching. But it's over now. Now I am living in the sun. Loving what I have because man, it's fun. Living life to the fullest because it's done. But really I gotta be careful because when you run, sometimes you trip, you fall, you feel super hurt. You grab a band-aid and look now, you're burned. Be careful out there. It's fun, but don't forget what you learned. Because sometimes you go so far, there's simply no return. Ate mais. Ciao, ciao. Ciao. Okay, first of all, guys, as we get deeper into these emails, I don't know if it's going to get worse and worse, but definitely the past couple emails has been really bad in terms of how I write, because my English is horrible, because I'm lost in Portuguese now, so that's why it's just getting worse, I think. The last email was the worst one by far. There are so many amazing things. I got transferred. It was crazy. I remember getting that call. I'm literally sitting there in my PJs, and the APs are like, what are you doing? I'm like, I just got back from the hospital. And they're like, yeah, but well, you can't just be home. I'm like, yeah, I can. I'm like, the doctor said. They're like, you need a note though. I'm like, oh, okay. Anyways, why are you calling? And they're like, oh, okay, well, I'll get your comp. And then we got transferred. It was insane. Turns out it was an emergency transfer. I don't remember the exact reason. It wasn't because of me though, which is crazy. I thought it was because of me, but it wasn't. And what a miracle that I was chosen to be the one to be involved in this emergency transfer, because of that, I was able to go and get all this amazing treatment from this ward. I mean, this ward, though it was one of the most interesting, it was one of the best member wards ever. They were so loving, so cool. They really cared for us. I think the only one that we had problems with was with the bishopric, or part of the bishopric. But these other members, I mean, okay, there was one specific I do remember, but most of these members were really good guys and good women and good people. They're amazing. And they literally fed me like all these amazing healthy foods and kind of kept me on track and helped me heal and feel better. And it was incredible. I really did feel a lot better really quickly in this week. So what a beautiful experience. I mean, my interview with President Cavalcanch was probably the most insane thing ever. And really, actually, I left out this detail, but he was like tearing up when he said, that part where he says, I need to see happy, excited, powerful Elder Barnes. No more sadness. I need to see you own your area and know it is sacred. I see Elder B in your eyes. So when he said all that, first of all, he started kind of getting choked up, and then I was already like tearing up and like pretty much crying. And it was such a special experience because reality was like this area, I'm so grateful that I wrote so positively, but this second area killed me. That was the worst comp I ever had in the mission, and it was the most brutal area. I mean, one of them that I ever lived in. I mean, and it wasn't like, with these other brutal areas we're gonna get to, they were brutal, but like, I still enjoyed them and like had such an amazing time, and like, I have all these, like, it was just so positive. This one, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, these stories I'm reading, I don't remember, because I think I purposely like blocked out this area from my memory, because it was just so hard for me, and it was very traumatic, and there was a lot of trauma that was kind of built into this area. So at least I can say like I'm grateful that I ended up leaving it. But it was really hard, and this area kicked my butt. So it was so crazy that I went into this interview, and just as fake as I was in these emails, not fake, I'm sure this is genuine, guys, but anyways, I was very positive in the emails. I went into this interview kind of faking, being like, yeah, I'm so good, hey, how's it going? And President knows I'm sick, but anyways, he's like, dude, I know it's not the sickness, and I know it's not, like, everything you've told me, like, something's up. And he even said it's not your comp, which was, like, weird. I was like, what are you talking about? And the reality is he called me out on one of my biggest follies, one of my biggest issues, which was I had no faith in my area. I wasn't even thinking about it. I was just like, yeah, we'll go try, right? And I had even said before in my email, like, okay, this is it. I'm not baptizing this transfer, right? And I kind of already put that out there. And because of that, I really did end up kind of shutting down any hope I had at controlling my area and owning it and loving it and being happy. And this Elder B, who was the AP, he did baptize like literally 20-something plus people in like 6 weeks in this area. I mean, maybe a little longer. He was probably there for like 3 months. But nonetheless, he baptized half the ward, and he made this place what it was. And it's because he went there and he chose to love it. You know, it was the same house, same area, same everything. He went in and he chose to love it. So that's what I learned from this. And President just called me out and just said, I need to see you happy, man. Like, where's happy Elder Barnes? Like, and that was such a big thing for me. And it's so funny because I actually think that's part of the reason that, like, I remember, what was this saying I used to say? I had this motto. Man, I had this motto, guys. I'm trying to get this back in my life even now, but I'm not trying to be prideful, but I was the most positive and like annoyingly loud and like wake up early and let's do this and infinite energy, like weird freak ever when I was a missionary. And it wasn't during this part. I mean, I'm sure maybe later on we're going to see it even more. I think even up until like 2 more areas later, I'm still like half and half. But I get to this point when I think it's after Baja Olympica, which is like way later, you guys will see. But after I get to that area, I like just this machine of just like, hey guys, oh my gosh, I love my area. This is the best. Oh my gosh, I love everything. Everything's so good. You know, and I just like am so happy and so involved and so excited to be a part of anything. And like, there was just so much joy, and like I was choosing happiness so hard every single day that I was just like thriving always. And like, that is such an amazing feeling to remember, and that I'm so grateful I had. And I low-key kind of wish I had it now. I'm trying to figure out what I did to do that and to have it, and I'm grateful that I'm reading these, because this is where I'm going to find out where that came from. Because, man, I was the happiest I've ever been in my life, and I was so passionate and excited just to even wake up in the morning. I got to the point I would wake up at 4 in the morning to do exercises like a weirdo, and I would work out for like 2 hours with just dumbbells on the floor, and then 2 dumbbells in the floor. And then I would watch like an hour of like scriptures or like these videos. Or that was like, okay, like an hour and a half of working out, an hour of videos, studying for 20 minutes. And then we'd leave the house at like 7:30, 8 a.m. to go work. And my comp was like, you're a psycho. That's like when I'm ready now after finally getting ready to go. And I'm like, hey, let's hit the road, right? And like I would run outside. I'd be like, woo, like good day, let's do this. What are we doing today? And like we had no plans. I had no idea what I was doing, but I was so happy. And I was like, we're going to kill it today. Today's going to be the best day ever. Oh my gosh. Like I was just so excited all the time. I loved everything. It was so crazy. And I will have to say, I give a lot of credit to President. I mean, he just lived that. I mean, his motto was Siempre animado, right? Like always excited. You're always excited. There's no excuse. So huge blessing. Amazing. Now this moment right here, this made me almost cry just now, but go out and enjoy your mission. You will have moments and experiences between you and God that no one else can experience with you, and you will never experience again. Those are literal quote, word for word advice from my dad. And he served a mission in Ecuador, which is where my wife is from. And he said that to me before I left. It was one of the last things he said. And there were so many moments, and I made sure to do this throughout my whole mission. I lived by them. I said, guys, I love it here. I'm a hard worker, and I'm going to be happy and go to work and kick my trash and feel like garbage by the end of the day. But you better bet I'm going to stop and buy me an ice cream, or I'm going to get me a little Coke, or I'm going to get me like a snack. Like I'm just going to make sure there's something in my day that includes the experience of just enjoyment or like pure dopamine, to where like I'm still enjoying the mission. And I learned to later in the mission, like a year in, is kind of where you kind of master the art of enjoying the mission by being a missionary. But before that, it's a lot of like the time that like when you're being a missionary, you're like happy and like you love it and the Spirit's there and it's like such a great experience when things go right. But there's so much rejection and like you're so new and you struggle to deal with rejection for your first year, I feel like. So then it's kind of hard to be all like, I love my mission, guys, this is the best, because you just feel sad because you get rejected a lot or because you're struggling and things aren't going as planned. But these moments are the moments that really carried my mission. And I vividly remember, guys, we were like under this, like I said, I was under like a cover. It's like this like on the corner, there's the street of dirt, and then there's a bridge and then a gorge. And on the other side is the other street. And then there's these corners of these shops, and we're in front of one of them. All the guys set down their bags and like sat down on the dry spot. And I'm like leaning against this railing that's connected to the cover, right? And it's like pouring rain, brutal. And yeah, there's literally this family having a barbecue and like drinking, and then like there's this bar where everyone's watching the game, just laughing, and they're playing music, like not too loud, and they're just enjoying it. And I look up, guys, and it is the most beautiful mountain range like you can ever see right in front of us. We're in it, like in this like canyon almost. This beautiful mountains and like this fog that's like low clouds right over this like little town, just like little favela town. Like it was the most beautiful thing ever. And you can just hear the rain, and I was just in the moment there for like 40 minutes. And I remember talking to God and just praying and just talking to him, casual conversation, thanking him for the amazing new area, all the amazing blessings, and just looking out and just being like, wow, what an experience. The mission was the most surreal experience of my life by far. And though it was seriously so difficult and so hard, I would beg to have the excitement and adventure from it every day for the rest of my life. It was so much joy and so much excitement. And clearly, what I'm grateful to be learning again is that it took work to get there. That any adventure in life, you're not going to just start off every day being like, this is the best thing ever, and loving every day of it. It's hard. It's so hard. And there's days you're going to be sick, and there's days you're going to go to the hospital 2 times, and there's days that you're going to have to eat weird foods, and there's days that you're going to get tea, and you're going to have to eat salads and eat bananas, and that's it for days, and only drink coconut water. And there's going to be days that it's storming so bad you have to take cover for an hour. There's going to be days that you have blistered feet. There's going to be days that you are depressed because you have bad friends, or you're struggling with family, or you're fighting a lot. Or there's going to be days that you feel like you're falling behind on everything and you're hopeless and you don't know where you're going. And then there's days you're going to feel like you're an unsuccessful loser and you have like no life and no job or anything. And in the end, I can tell you everything's going to be all right. And I guess all I can tell you again is kind of what my president told me. I need to see happy, excited, and powerful Elder Barnes for you. Happy, excited, and powerful. Powerful. No more sadness. I need to see you own your life and know it is sacred. And that is what I learned. I learned that reality is No matter what area you're assigned to, no matter what city you live in, no matter what circumstances you're in, you are the one that decides if this land is sacred. This is good land. Where you are now is good land, sacred land. Make it your own. If you want to thrive, if you want to have success there, you got to believe in it. Same thing as your life. Wherever you're at, whether you're working your 9 to 5, whether you're working some amazing job, whether you're struggling at home, whether you're living the worst quality living that you can possibly live in, your environment is terrible. That is sacred land. You have a sacred life. You decide what's going to come of it. You do. It's good land, sacred land. I remember repeating that in my mind 1,000,000 times a day in Portuguese, because it was the only reminder that even though I'm having so much failure and no success in some days, if I can keep believing that this is sacred land and that this is good land and that God has prepared this for me, has prepared this exact situation, this exact scenario for me, I know I will be able to find the success in there, find the good bits, find the good pieces, and I promise you guys can too. Never ever forget, ever, that you do in fact have potential for prosperity. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.